Welcome to your daily financial news roundup for January 20th. We've got a packed show for you today. Everything from retail and pharmaceuticals to tech and even some presidential meme coin action.
Yeah, looks like we've got our work cut out for us today.
Let's dive right in. First up, WE Fashion.
Oh yeah, the European retailer.
Exactly. They're going all in on digital transformation.
What's really interesting here is their partnership with Oracle. They're using cloud technology to revamp their entire operation. We're talking 133 stores and all of their distribution centers making the switch.
That's a massive undertaking. It's not just about efficiency and security either. This seems like a much bigger trend in retail.
Absolutely. Think AI. They're going to use it for everything. From stock allocation to trend prediction.
So you're saying there's going to be a program that tells us what to wear next season?
Yeah, not exactly. But it's getting pretty close. This AI can analyze massive amounts of data to predict upcoming fashion trends.
Wow, like a fashion crystal ball.
And it goes even further. It can also analyze the sustainability efforts of WE fashion suppliers.
Which is becoming increasingly important to consumers.
Huge. Shoppers want transparency and accountability from brands.
Makes sense. Okay, let's move on to Charles Schwab. They're releasing their Q4 earnings tomorrow.
And the anticipation is building.
Big time.
Analysts are projecting earnings of 91 cents per share, which would be a significant jump from last year.
So are they a good buy then?
Well, JP Morgan seems to think so. They've given Schwab an overweight rating.
Overweight?
Meaning they believe the stock is going to outperform the market.
Oh, okay. So for those of us who aren't Wall Street experts.
Like myself.
Haha, exactly. What does overweight actually tell us?
Good question. It's basically a way for analysts to signal their confidence in a company's future performance. Overweight suggests that investors should consider holding more of that stock compared to the average allocation in a benchmark index, like the S&P 500.
Interesting. So it's like a vote of confidence.
In a way, yes. But it's important to remember these are just opinions. Informed opinions, sure, but still just one perspective.
Okay, good to know. So another financial heavyweight, ING, is steadily working through its 2 billion share buyback program.
Right. Just last week, they repurchased over 3 million shares, spending over $50 million.
Yeah.
And they've already completed nearly half of the entire program.
That's a big commitment. Shows they're serious about returning value to shareholders.
Absolutely.
Speaking of commitments,
Hmm?
or maybe the lack thereof, MicroStrategy, known for its massive Bitcoin holdings, saw its stock take a hit after President Trump's inauguration speech.
Oh, yeah. That was interesting.
The crypto community was definitely hoping for a mention. Some indication of crypto-friendly policies from the new administration.
Right. Some kind of shout out.
And when that didn't happen,
Crickets.
the market reacted.
It sent ripples through the crypto world.
Bitcoin even dipped below $102,000,
It just goes to show sometimes even a non-event can be a market mover.
especially in the world of crypto. Speaking of crypto, Mark Cuban has a pretty out there idea about meme coins.
Yeah, this should be good.
He's suggesting issuing one. Similar to President Trump's, actually, but with a
Oh.
twist.
He wants to direct all the proceeds to the U.S. Treasury to help tackle the national debt.
Wow, that's a bold move. Risky, but the potential payoff could be huge.
It's certainly thought-provoking.
It makes you wonder about the power of these meme coins,
Yeah,
even with all their volatility.
it's a fascinating phenomenon.
Speaking of volatility, Trump Media and Technology Group, the company behind Truth Social, saw its stock dip over 2% overnight.
I wonder if investors are just waiting to see how the market reacts to Trump's initial policy moves.
Yeah, that could be it. The stock has been a bit of a roller coaster since its debut.
It's anyone to guess what's next.
True enough. Now let's shift gears to the pharmaceutical world, where Nicox, an ophthalmology company, is celebrating a big win.
What's news?
They've completed enrollment for their Denali clinical trial, which is testing a new glaucoma treatment,
That is great news.
and they've secured the funding to see the trial through to completion,
Excellent.
with results expected in Q3.
That's a big milestone for them.
Their CEO is already talking about potential partnerships to bring the treatment to market.
That's promising for glaucoma patients.
For sure. Meanwhile, Tesla seems to be shifting its messaging strategy. In light of President Trump's rollback of EV targets,
Interesting.
instead of focusing on climate change, which might not resonate with the current administration, they're highlighting the immediate health benefits of electric vehicles.
That's a smart move.
They're emphasizing the positive impact on air and noise pollution.
Which directly affects public health.
Makes sense.
They're appealing to a broader audience.
While still promoting their product.
Exactly.
Okay, back to the markets. The Nasdaq had a strong week,
It did.
surging 2.5% and recording its best performance since December.
Tech stocks like Tesla and Nvidia were the driving force.
However, the CNN Money, Fear, and Greed Index is still in fear territory.
Interesting.
Fear and Greed Index. What exactly is that?
It's an indicator that tries to gauge market sentiment. You can think of it as a barometer of investor emotions. When the index leans towards fear, it suggests investors are hesitant,
Right.
which can sometimes create buying opportunities.
For those who have a higher risk tolerance, I imagine.
Exactly.
So even though the Nasdaq is rallying, there's still a sense of caution in the air?
That seems to be the case.
Now, for some C-suite shakeups, Pharming Group, a Dutch biopharmaceutical company, has nominated Fabrice Chouraqui as their new CEO.
He brings a wealth of experience from companies like Flagship Pioneering and Novartis.
Sounds like they're setting themselves up for continued growth in the rare disease market.
It certainly looks that way.
And here's a development that could shake up the men's health market.
Wow.
Opella, the consumer healthcare arm of Sanofi, has received FDA clearance to start a trial for over-the-counter Cialis.
Wow, that's big.
Cialis for erectile dysfunction, but without a prescription.
This could be a game changer.
It would make the treatment much more accessible.
The trial will be evaluating real-world use and confirming whether men can safely self-diagnose and treat themselves.
That raises some interesting questions about the evolving role of consumers in managing their own health.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, investors, get ready for a busy Tuesday. We've got a bunch of earnings reports coming out.
3M and D.R. Horton are releasing results before the market opens.
And United Airlines and Netflix will report after the bell.
It'll be interesting to see how these companies are performing.
Yeah, it should give us some insights into the overall health of the economy.
For sure.
Now, the TikTok saga continues with yet another plot twist.
Oh, what happened now?
President Trump issued an executive order suspending the TikTok ban for 75 days.
So the ban that was supposed to take effect Sunday is now on hold?
Exactly.
Wow.
It's created a lot of uncertainty over the platform's future.
I bet. Are there any potential buyers emerging?
There are, actually. But legal experts are questioning the order's authority. They say it might not be able to override existing laws.
This is a complicated situation.
It is. But one thing's for sure. Competitors like Meta are watching closely.
Of course. They're ready to capitalize on any opportunity.
It's a high-stakes game,
Absolutely.
with the future of social media hanging in the balance.
Now, remember those Trump meme coins that were making headlines?
Oh, yeah, those.
Well, it seems their moment in the spotlight has faded.
Yeah, both the president's and Melania Trump's meme coins have plummeted in value.
Ouch.
It just goes to show the volatility of these digital assets.
The slump coincided with Trump's inauguration speech, which, as we mentioned earlier, didn't mention cryptocurrency at all.
The market clearly wasn't thrilled about that.
Definitely not.
It's a roller coaster ride out there.
You got that right.
Okay, our last story takes us to Dubai, where the police are taking a proactive approach to combating crime in the world of cryptocurrency.
What are they doing?
They've partnered with a company called Crystal Intelligence to identify and predict future threats.
As digital crime evolves,
Precisely.
smart move.
This is crucial for a city like Dubai, which has positioned itself as a hub for innovation and technology.
Absolutely. As digital currencies become more mainstream, we're seeing a corresponding rise in criminal activity.
Unfortunately, yes.
It's like a digital arms race.
Law enforcement is constantly trying to stay one step ahead.
And the Dubai police are clearly committed to staying ahead.
It's reassuring to see them taking this seriously,
It sends a strong message to investors and businesses,
that Dubai is a safe and secure place to operate.
even in the often unpredictable realm of crypto.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So there you have it. A whirlwind tour of the financial landscape today.
We covered a lot of ground today.
What stood out to you?
Well, I'm fascinated by the growing role of AI in so many different sectors,
Everywhere.
like retail and even law enforcement.
AI is definitely not just a buzzword anymore.
And of course, the crypto space is always captivating.
With its constant twists and turns.
So much to keep an eye on.
That's for sure.
But for now, it's time for us to take a breather.
Yes, a well-deserved one.
Join us again tomorrow for another roundup of the day's most important financial news.
Until then, stay informed and stay curious.
We'll see you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly things can change, especially in the world of finance and tech.
For real. It's like a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing.
Speaking of things that have changed, remember those Trump meme coins?
Oh, yeah, those.
They were everywhere for a hot minute. Now they're practically ancient history.
It's like they went from a supernova to a black hole.
I think it's a classic case of hype versus reality. Those coins were incredibly risky. And it seems like a lot of investors learned that the hard way.
It's a tough lesson. But it's a good reminder that not all investments are created equal.
Exactly.
Some are definitely more, let's just say speculative than others.
Yeah, speculative is a good word.
You might get lucky and hit the jackpot, but you also need to be prepared to lose it all.
Risk and reward go hand in hand. But knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances.
Couldn't agree more. Speaking of knowledge, that partnership between the Dubai police and Crystal Intelligence really caught my eye. Yeah, that's a proactive move. And a necessary one. As crypto becomes more widely adopted, we're seeing a rise in cybercrime.
Makes sense. It's just an unfortunate reality.
It's the dark side of the crypto boom.
I guess so. The decentralized and anonymous nature of cryptocurrency makes it tricky to track illicit activity, right?
It definitely presents challenges, but it's not impossible. That's where partnerships like this come in. The Dubai police are getting the tools and expertise they need to tackle these new threats.
It's good to know someone's on top of it.
It's a constant cat and mouse game, but the Dubai police are clearly committed to staying ahead of the curve.
It's reassuring to see them taking this so seriously, especially for a city that's such a hub for innovation.
It sends a strong message. Dubai wants to be a leader in the crypto space, and that means prioritizing security and transparency.
I like that. Okay, ready to dive into some earnings reports?
Bring on the numbers.
We've got 3M and D.R. Horton releasing results before the market opens tomorrow.
Those are some big names.
3M is a giant in the industrial and consumer product space.
Yeah, they're kind of a bellwether for the manufacturing sector.
And D.R. Horton, one of the nation's leading home builders.
They'll give us a peek into the housing market.
Which could be a wild ride.
You never know what's going to happen with real estate.
Okay, so we've got 3M and D.R. Horton in the morning. And then after the closing bell, we have United Airlines and Netflix.
Ooh, United. I'm curious to see how they're doing. With travel demand surging like it is.
Yeah, it's been crazy out there.
I'm wondering how they're managing capacity and costs.
Me too. And then there's Netflix.
The streaming giant.
Their subscriber numbers are always the main event.
They're facing some stiff competition these days.
It's a tough market for sure.
I wonder if they'll say anything about the whole TikTok situation.
Oh, you mean if the ban eventually goes through?
Right. It could create an opportunity for Netflix to expand their short-form video content.
That's a really good point.
It's all connected, you know?
I know, it's amazing. One event can have ripple effects across so many different sectors.
Just like a giant web.
Okay, before we move on, I think we need to revisit that FDA clearance for an over-the-counter Cialis trial.
Oh, yeah, that was a big one.
If this trial is successful, it could revolutionize how men access treatment for erectile dysfunction.
It would be a major step towards making healthcare more accessible.
I agree. But there are some potential risks to consider as well.
Of course.
Self-treatment always comes with a certain level of responsibility.
The FDA is going to be watching this trial very closely.
I can imagine.
It's a pivotal moment, not just for men's health, but for the future of consumer-driven healthcare.
It feels like we're entering a new era. Where people are taking more control over their own well-being.
It's exciting and a little bit scary all at the same time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But as with any big change, it's important to stay informed and approach things with a critical eye.
Good advice. I feel like I've learned so much already.
Me too.
And we haven't even finished the episode yet.
There's always more to learn. The world of finance never sleeps.
True that. Okay, what else is on our agenda today?
Let's shift gears and take a closer look at WE Fashion's digital transformation. It's more than just updating their systems.
All right, let's talk WE Fashion. What makes this digital transformation so special?
Well, it's their partnership with Oracle. And the fact that they're going all in on cloud technology, it's a sign of where retail is headed, utilizing the cloud to implement AI across their entire operation.
AI seems to be the word of the day.
Pretty much.
WE Fashion is using it to optimize stock, predict trends, even analyze their suppliers' sustainability efforts.
It's like they're building a data-driven fashion empire.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Imagine a shopping experience that's completely personalized, based on your past purchases, your style, even algorithms that predict what you'll want next.
Like they know you better than you know yourself.
Almost. And being able to analyze supplier sustainability is huge. Consumers are demanding more ethical and eco-conscious practices.
Absolutely. Transparency and accountability are key. So if we connect all these dots, AI, data-driven decisions, shifting consumer preferences. What does it all mean for our listeners?
It means the world is changing at an incredible pace. The way we shop, invest, even think about healthcare. It's all being transformed by technology and data.
It can be a bit overwhelming to keep up with.
It is, but the first step is awareness. Don't be afraid to embrace new technologies. Ask questions. Explore different perspectives.
Knowledge is power, right?
Exactly. The more you understand these shifts, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions.
Couldn't agree more.
And that's what we try to do here. Provide you with the information and insights you need to navigate this ever-changing landscape.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our daily financial news roundup for January 20th.
We hope you enjoyed our rundown of today's top financial news stories.
Join us tomorrow for another edition of the Daily Financial News Roundup.
Until then, stay curious and stay ahead of the curve.
We'll see you then.